kind of the perfect homemade gift for all sorts of different occasions. They're especially good for Valentine's Day because Valentine's is often quite centered around chocolate, I guess. So these chocolates are all super simple to make, personalizable, and they are vegan. So to start with, what you're going to need is a block of dark chocolate. Start by breaking up all of the chocolate into same size bits into a bowl, and then you want to separate about half of those out onto another plate. This will be really important later when we melt the chocolate and temper it. But right now we're going to get onto the fillings for all the 3 chocolates. So to start with, we're going to make peanut butter chocolates. I love these, but if you don't like peanut butter, you might want to skip ahead. You just need some roasted peanuts, some peanut butter, and some icing sugar. So to start with, you want to put about a tablespoon of icing sugar into a bowl, and then add about a tablespoon and a half of peanut butter into that. Mix it up thoroughly until the peanut butter dries up a bit and is more malleable. This is the first filling. Then get the peanuts and put them into a small bag so you can bash them up a little bit with the rolling pin or anything else around you until they're bashed up into peanut crumbs. Put these both aside and get on to the next filling. For the second one, I'm going to make coconut truffles. So for that, you just need some coconut milk, some chopped dark chocolate, and some desiccated coconut. So firstly, what I want to do is put about 2 tablespoons of coconut milk into a bowl, and then I want to simmer this until it starts bubbling. So you could do this over top of an element, or you could do this in the microwave. And then I add into that about 1/4 cup of chopped dark chocolate, and just mix that through thoroughly until it forms the chocolate ganache. Then into that I add about 2 tablespoons of desiccated coconut. So that's the second filling done. Now for the third filling, we're going to make a raw vegan caramel. It's absolutely delicious. So for that, you're going to need a couple of dates, some coconut oil, some maple syrup, some almond butter, sea salt, and vanilla essence. I start by putting 2 tablespoons of coconut into a bowl. Then I add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1.5 tablespoons of almond butter, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt or rock salt, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla essence, and 2 to 3 dried dates, but you can always soak the dates in about a teaspoon of water first so that they kind of get a bit softer, especially if you don't have a better blender like a Vitamix or something that's going to puree it properly, and I don't, so I had to soften mine. Blend these together for a couple of minutes. They'll all meld together and form a sticky, gooey caramel. It's absolutely delicious. Then you have your 3 fillings. Next we need to go on to melting the chocolate. So for that, you want to take the big bowl with your bits of chocolate in it and put it over a pot with some boiling water in it, and just wait for that to melt gently. Once that is mostly melted, you want to take it off the heat and add your remaining chocolate. This will just help to temper it. It's a process called seeding, and it just allows it to cool down faster. This means that the chocolate will cool and be nice and smooth and glossy rather than cooling and getting those kind of white blooms on it. So once you've tempered your chocolate in this very simple method, you want to get your first filling out of the fridge, the peanut butter, and you want to make sure you have your crushed peanuts handy. Then get some non-stick baking paper and put it onto a tray or a plate. Take a small piece of the peanut butter mixture and roll it into a ball or into a log, and get your toothpick, stick it into one end, dip it around in the chocolate until it's completely coated, and then roll it around in your crushed nuts. Then you can put it onto your non-stick baking paper and repeat the process over and over until you have as many as you can make with your peanut butter mixture. Then you can put them back in the fridge, and that is your first set of chocolates done. These are delicious. For the next ones, you want to take your coconut chocolate ganache out of the fridge, and this should be quite solid at this point. And you can kind of mold it into different shapes. You can make it into logs or anything if you want to, but I just kind of wanted to take chunks out that look like coconut rough, just really random looking chunks, and dip them into the chocolate the way they are. You can do this again using a toothpick, and then just plonk them onto a piece of non-stick baking paper, and then you can sprinkle a bit of desiccated coconut over top. You could put it over top of where the toothpick just was to cover up the hole, or you could put a design of whatever type you want over top of the chocolate. So just continue to do this process until you've done all of the ganache, and then you can put them into the fridge. And then lastly, we're doing the caramel hearts. So for this, you really need a heart-shaped chocolate mold, but obviously you could do them in any mold. You could even do them in an ice cube mold if you don't have any others. So you want to get some dark chocolate, about a teaspoonful, and pour it into the bottom of your mold, and then push it up the sides. Pushing it up around the sides, making sure it goes all around the sides of the mold. Keep doing this process over and over for as many chocolates as you want, and then you want to put that mold back in the fridge for a couple of minutes. Once you take it out, you can start putting your caramel centers in. So I found that about a half a teaspoon is good. and you can just pop that into each of the chocolate molds on top of the chocolate that's already there, and then top up the molds with a bit more melted chocolate. Tap the chocolate down until it settles, wipe off any that's gone over the edges, and then you can put the mold back in the fridge for a couple more minutes until it sets. Once you pop them out, you have these gorgeous chocolate hearts, and the centers are delicious. And then that's your 3 chocolates done. It's really simple to do, as you can see, and if you want to give them as a Valentine's gift, you can just put them into a box if you have a box lying around, or otherwise you can make a makeshift box. So for that, I find it really simple. Just grab 2 pieces of paper. If they have designs or colours on each side, that's really good, so you can stick them together, and then you get some muffin papers for putting the chocolates in, and just arrange them however you might want onto your paper to see how big you need it to be. Make sure you leave about 1 inch or so on either side of the muffin papers. Then cut that shape out, cut in diagonally about 1 inch on each corner, push up the edges. Then you want to cut off your extra diagonal all the way around. Get some glue, glue those edge pieces inwards, fold them up and hold them together until they're set, which should only take a couple of seconds. And to go around your muffin papers, you can get some rose petals or flowers, or potpourri is what I use, and just place that around the edges of those muffin wrappers, and then put your chocolates in there, and that looks really gorgeous. I think it looks really sweet. It's genuine, it comes from the heart, it's something that's homemade, and that's what Valentine's should be about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.